Good day, everyone. This is Isabel, and I'm from London today. And today I'm joined by not only one, but two victims on the hot seat. The first one is Nick Cowley, is Global Sales Director, Voice Solutions at Odine. And the second victim is one of their customers, Nicholas Su, is EVP Global Sales, Voice and Mobility at Telin. Guys, welcome to the hot seat.
Hi, Isabel.
Thank you.
You ready?
Of course.
No choice. So we're here today to highlight the success story of the Odine and Telin relationships. And it's a rare occasion that customer is willing to come on camera and share and discuss their experience with a vendor. So I think it's a very special occasion indeed today. So to get us started, let's set the scene. So Nicola, what was the challenge that Telin wanted to address or to solve when approaching Odine?
Well, let me start by saying, I guess it's not something new for all of us. You know, the voice industry over the last 10, 15 years have undergone the tremendous pressure on margins and revenues on the decline. And two things that really came out, you know, as a trend that we saw that is kind of irreversible. One is obviously the increasing amount of fraudulent traffic going out in the market today. And that is something that has to be addressed. It's really taking away the margins from operators, carriers like ourselves here. I guess the second trend that we foresee, what we're actually seeing is happening today, is the pricing complexity. I guess this happened in the last number of years with the increase of origin-based pricing. It started off in Europe, and now we're seeing more and more so in parts of Middle East, in parts of in Asia, in the extent. And largely to protect themselves as an operator, right? Instead of traffic going from all over the places, we're trying, I guess they're supposed to want to solve the problem of knowing where the source of traffic is coming from directly, rather than all over the places where lack of transparency is something that's the biggest challenge. I guess those two major trends, we're seeing that, and that really prompted us to, pick up the phone and really look into what kind of solution do we have to solve our problem.
So Nick, can you share with us what the solution was that you offered to address what Nicholas has just shared with us, the type of challenges that he was looking to resolve?
Of course, yeah. I think when it comes down to Nicholas's points, is that it's about visibility and it's about understanding what's going on in the network, but also the risks and how to solve some of those risks. So providing the Odine Orion application for the end-to-end management of the international wholesale business for Telin has enabled them really to gain a greater level of visibility in a much more real-time way, find risks, resolve risks, and remove potential fraud, which also allows, with more automation, the ability to reuse resource in other future new projects and areas. So for us, it was all about providing Telin with a more feature-rich, modern application for the wholesale voice, but really to drive around giving them the right information to make good decisions in real time. And with OBR, with the complexities that come, automation is key. We don't want to have, or Telin operators don't want to have people manually running tasks that can be automated. So the key thing for us was just driving that automation and real-time data.
Okay. I think that's interesting. You mentioned real-time automation, fraud, a lot of the buzzword that we hear at the moment that people are trying to address. So I'm sure for everyone out there watching us, they're wondering, okay, that sounds good, but what was the real life results of doing this type of solution or implementing this type of solution? So Nicholas, what did this solution enable you to do that wouldn't have been possible before?
Well, again, as you said, Nick have mentioned all the key buzzwords. I mean, those are the real reason why we jump in there and do what we do today. Routing, automation, and efficiency are two buzzwords that it's a must-have in the voice industry. It's not a nice to have anymore here. So in order for us to compete down to the every minute, in the sense that every minute counts in this industry. You need to have this automation to really allow us to do that and to monetize it, rather than going into leakages and seeing fraudulent traffic going past and taking away the margins, the hard-earned margins from every operator and carriers out there. Sticking on the point of operational efficiencies, this really allows us, Telin, as a seller, to take advantage of the software that we're working with, in this case here, Odine here, to promote ourselves in the most efficient way in NeoTraffic. Now, I'll just take a minute to explain a bit about NeoTraffic here. NeoTraffic is a digital connectivity platform marketplace that we rolled out towards the end of last year. Now, Telin is a seller in the same platform out there, and really allows us to be more efficient in our routing, to be able to offer more attractive prices and be able to make changes in the routing far more superior than before, I would say.
Okay. So, Nick, I'm sure people out there, and me, I'm the devil's advocate, say, okay, that's interesting, but, yes, it's interesting, but what makes this very special? So what, in your point of view, this makes this project so special, Nick?
I think it's clear that a lot of operators want to change, but it's understanding how to change and how to make that transition of a very settled service without disruption, without issues to customers and providers. So what we were able to do with Telin was provide a seamless transition through the migration side, through what we've done with other customers, because we don't want this project to take a year or 18 months. This needs to be weeks, maybe a couple of months of a project, because the sooner this is undertaken, the sooner, as Nicholas says, with Nutrifix, they can promote further services and be more agile in their marketplace. So for us, it was more about one, doing it all virtually, which was amazing. Having, hopefully to meet Nicholas at some point this year when we can get together in person, but working with the two teams remotely to achieve what we did without a single minute of downtime was significant. Training, educating, and helping the Telin team. I think also what it's allowed us to do with the virtual nature of what we've got is our ecosystem of carriers, our customers that are out there. We've been able to help Telin by introducing our customers to Telin. Obviously for us, we're just the vendor, but we're trying to evolve the partnership to say, look, we've got X customers across the globe, all could benefit from Nutrifix. Let's introduce them, let's sign them up. And I believe that at least 10 to 15 of our customers have signed up to Nutrifix and are actively using the platform with Telin. So not only have we provided a technology to evolve Telin service, we've actually opened up this ecosystem or the family that is Odine's customers to enable Telin during this virtual sort of time period to find new interconnect partners and new business and new revenue streams. So that's been a really interesting part of the process for us.
I think that's super interesting. It kind of brings the customer-vendor relationship to the next level. Bring it to more a soft partnership in some way where both parties benefit. So I think that's maybe going to reinvent the vendor-customer relationship going forward. I think that's super interesting. But guys, don't think you've gotten off so lightly. The interview is not finished, and I want to finish on a bang. So I would like to challenge you to a little game that I like to call the quick or the dead. So I'm going to ask you questions, and you have to answer with the first word that comes to your mind. And I said one word, so you better behave, guys. So what was the biggest challenge of the project?
Of the project, fraud. I mean, it's not as a project problem, but it's the concern that we have is really addressed the fraudulent traffic. Yes, so yes.
Adopting change was the biggest challenge, was just changing people's mindset.
What was the most surprising result?
Margins.
Nick?
Speed.
What was the most important lesson learned?
Efficiency.
Transition is possible.
What comes next?
Nutrifix.
Evolving together.
Guys, I'm really impressed. Thank you. I think you've survived my final challenge. Thank you so much, guys, for being taking time to share your project, your experience, what you've learned from your partnership. I think it's very valuable. So thank you very much. And I think, as I said earlier in the interview, it's kind of giving examples of how you can reinvent the customer vendor relationship. So well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers.
Everyone, thank you for watching, and until my next Odine Hotshot.